in the story so tender, clearer than ever I see. Stay, let me weep while you whisper. Love paid the ransom for me.
The emperor wanted to know how many people lived on his land, so he had everyone go to their hometowns to be counted. It was nighttime when Joseph and Mary arrived in Bethlehem. The little town was crammed with people, every room was taken, and the only place left to rest was a stable filled with sleepy animals. There, Joseph made a bed for Mary in the hay. Little did the world know that the most awesome, amazing, and almighty part of God's plan was beginning. Jesus was ready to be born. In the stillness of the night he came, God's gift of Christmas, the one who would save the world. Joseph named him Jesus. As the cows, horses, goats, and sheep watched, Mary wrapped her baby in soft cloths to keep him warm. Then she laid him in the hay in the animal's feeding trough. God gave the world hope through a tiny baby lying in a manger. In the fields near Bethlehem, shepherds were guarding their sheep. Suddenly, a scary bright light flashed in the sky, and many, many angels appeared, singing praises to God. A glowing angel said, "Do not be afraid. I have good news for you, which will make everyone happy. This very day in King David's hometown, a Savior was born for you. He is Christ the Lord. You will know who he is, because you will find him dressed in baby cloths and lying in a bed of hay." "Wow, that's amazing," the shepherds exclaimed to each other as they hurried off to Bethlehem to find Jesus. They were excited to see the Son of God, and they knelt down and worshiped Jesus as soon as they found him. They went out and spread the word about what the angel had told them.
Tell me the story of Jesus. Write on my heart every word. Tell me the story most precious, sweetest that ever was heard, sweetest that ever was heard.
Well, Merry Christmas. How's everybody doing? Are you ready for Christmas? Are you excited for Christmas? Hi, my name is Steve Jobs. I'm one of the pastors here. I just thought I'd save you the comment at the door because I've heard it like 500 times already. No, my name is Bill, and I do have the privilege of being one of the pastors here. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that by the time you leave, you are truly ready to celebrate Christmas, not just because of all the stuff we've added to it, but really because of the meaning, the power, and the purpose of that very first Christmas.
Right, so let's hit it. Let's go live. G?
Oh, that's me.
Just watch the chords.
Yep, alright. That's already public. That's already recording.
Yeah, that one's recording. You just got to hit. Does it say next or live or something on it?
Yeah, it says next. Going in 3, 2.
All right.
Oh my goodness, the thumbnail.
Oh, is it taking a thumbnail? Okay.
Oh, it already did.
Let's go.
And you're live!
All right. I should have some intro music set up here. I got something I could play. He's never actually ready.
Oh, you know what? You can use some Weiler. He's a buddy of mine, artist. He just does some like lo-fi. Is it lo-fi that I'm looking for? Yeah, lo-fi. Just some like.
Jay Beatty made this for me. I don't know if you... Jay Beatty and the boys from Theater... Well, he's from Theater Chris. And I can use it because it's not got no copyright on it. And then, so once we get our act together, we can mix it in nice so it comes in and fades and we're all cool, and then we'll have some thumbnails and stuff. So the Jim Fannon Show used to be live all the time when we were doing terrestrial radio. I haven't done that for a few years. I haven't had live privileges on YouTube for a while because they changed the requirements for live streaming. You need 1,000 subs, and I didn't have those. I didn't have the subs for it or the watch time. You've got to have 4,000 hours in a calendar year,
Right.
and then I blew up for me, 3,000 subscribers is like wow.
Well, that's blowing up.
Yeah,
Just since
yeah,
you were at,
and
like, 200.
it happened overnight pretty much. So Bella is my guest, first guest of the new Jim Fannon Show, and I asked you just on short notice just the other day. I was talking to your brother, I call him Benjamin.
Yeah.
And Benjamin and I got to know each other through church. He was on camera with me, and we became friends. And then, lights, right? Okay, sorry.
Been on lights.
He's the voice off the set that no one can see or hear, basically.
I'm pretty loud.
And so we got to be friends. Then he came down to watch my friend's band, Roadways, who's doing really well. They set up right in here, and we had a little jam session and recorded it quite horribly because it was my first time, and I'm still getting the hang of this whole thing.
I brought all my gear down for that, didn't I?
Yeah, you brought the computer, and we had a much different setup. We didn't have any of the decorations up or anything like that. So,
Picture up.
and then I got to get you to help me out with creating some thumbnails, G.
Yeah, just shoot me a message of what you want, and
I just need something that's simple that I can log into and put something that looks. I guess thumbnails are important, right? I just use whatever custom, like whatever comes up on the feed, right? And there we are live. Settle down. See, every one of my videos has commercials now. You have to watch commercials. I just want to check the sound and make sure that we're streaming.
well, that's how you get your revenue, though. So
Yeah.
there we go.
There you go.
I've got an echo.
Echo. So Bella, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do. You're 10 years old. Live in
11.
You're 11 now?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that. When did you turn 11?
October 18.
Okay. Where do you go? Can we talk about where you go to school? Are you pretty protective about information, or do you consider yourself a public figure so everyone knows your first and last name, who you are, where you go to school and stuff like that? I mean, you were on stage at church.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, so what school are you at?
I go to St. Alfred's. It's a Catholic school.
I know St. Alfred's. I went there. I graduated from St. Alfred's at grade 8.
Actually?
I passed out in the church in my graduation. Yeah, Emmanuel Legamino went to smack me across the face because well, you could see I was going white. And he went, Fannon, and he hit me like this, and I went, ba-boom, crash in the back of the church, because I'm always at the back, right? And Mrs. Bernick and Emmanuel Legamino dragged me out to the front lawn, and I came to with a migraine like you couldn't believe. And I was out only, like, not long. It's all that standing and sitting and kneeling and standing and sitting. I'm 6'1" and 160 pounds or something. Like, I was still a big boy, but thin, like a post. And so, yeah, I passed. I was confirmed there. I had my confirmation there.
Well, that's what confirmed it.
I don't remember what else I went through there. Maybe just confirmation and graduation. So I know St. Alfred pretty well. They had a gym when I was there. They tore the gym down. I think they sold. Oh, maybe they built a new one because the gym was right up on the road.
Still there.
Oh, okay. Oh, they did something with the gym. So you're at St. Alfred's. What grade?
Grade 6.
Grade 6. So I was only there for 7 and 8. And where are you going to go after that?
I want to go to Eden,
Okay. Where are all your friends going to go?
Holy Cross,
They all go
and
to-
like Laura Secord, all of that.
Right. Most of my boys went to PK Kerwin, whatever that was. I guess it's Holy Cross now.
Mm-hmm.
Catholic. And then a couple they're all mostly Italian boys when I went there. A couple of them went to Secord. And then I went to Simcoe. So I was at Carleton till grade 4, 5 and 6 Canadian Martyrs, 7 and 8 St. Alfred, And then, so every time I moved, I was never moving with my friends. So I had new friends every couple years, it seemed like.
I think I only have like a few friends that are going with me to Eden as well, so.
All right. Now, so who approached you to do the performance at church for the Christmas thing?
Well, my mom told me about it. I'm like, sure.
All right. So we have breakfast a lot together because I sit with your mom a lot, and of course Bella's usually there.
Yeah.
Not even Daniel or you are there that much. Or Carolina does her own thing. She sits with her own peeps. Carolina is your older sister. She shoots camera for me, and she's great. And so I've been kind of like asking Carolina about you, like, well, what are you up to? What do you like to do? And then we were sitting there the other day chatting, and you said to me, she's asking me questions. I'm like, wait a second. She's like, what's your favorite animal? I'm like, what are you interviewing me or what? Eh? So here's what happened. I go to this church, and I serve on a pretty regular basis down in the basement, down with the kids. I'm in preschool, so it's 2 and 3 year olds, I think, preschool.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because then the kids zone is like 5 and 6 or something like that, or 4, 5, and 6 or something like that.
Yeah.
So once a month I'm in with the kids. I love the kids, even though they gave me this head cold. I went in there to thank them. I went in the other day. I'm like, okay, who gave me this sickness? The little brats. There was no brats. There was just the people, people like me that look after them. And then on a regular basis, I'm upstairs as video director. I wanted to learn to run the soundboard, but Derek said, we start our volunteers right there. And he points to camera 1. So I did camera. I'm like, okay, well, fine. You don't want to teach me the soundboard, eh? Fine. So I went on camera 1 for about a year. And then Mark was doing video at the time. I'm like, what's that guy doing over there, right? Because it's like all these screens of different camera shots and a bunch of lights and buttons and levers and dials and switches. And it's like, it's a standard JVC. I forget what it is, what the number is, but it's a JVC switching board. So I've gotten to know you and your mom, and Ben's been I think I met Ben first, and that was good. And I think once your mom got to know me and hanging out with Ben, and there was no trouble, then I'm a decent guy anyways in her eyes, I guess. So and then we have breakfast once in a while, and then so. Just to give you a little background on how I got Bella on the show, and thank you. That was very brave. Look, no problem. You're not even nervous. I'm more nervous having you on than you are being on. So, anyways, video director. When you're doing camera or video director or sound or pro, or I don't know if it's the same for lights, but I can't concentrate on what's being said. I don't get the message. I very seldom remember the songs that we played because I feel like I'm working and I'm really engaged in working. And so it's kind of like when I was on the radio. If I'm doing an interview, it's almost like I'm not listening to the answer when my guest is talking because I'm thinking of hitting the commercial break if I have to do news and weather, like when I was doing radio, or, what my next question is going to be, or is my battery running out when I'm down here so I don't have the crew behind me like I had at the radio station. And so we shot 5 services. You did that story, you did that performance 5 times. And that means, 5 sets of songs, 5 sets of performances, 5 sets of the sermon, 5 sets of... And I didn't really get any of it, right? And that's fine. I expect that. And people often go, well, what did they talk about at church today? I'm like, I don't know. Because I don't know. And then if I watch, I'll go, oh yeah, I remember this was the theme, and then I'll remember some. But I said to someone the other day in the booth, I said, did he make that joke? He called himself Bill Gates. Hi, I'm Bill Gates, he says. Yeah, because he was all dressed in black. I'm like, did he make that joke before? And they're like, yeah. I didn't even hear it. So I was surprised, really surprised, because on Monday, I came home, and I promise I'll let you talk, but let's set it up a little bit here. I came home Monday and watched my switching, and I was really unhappy with it because it was fast and cold, and there was no mood. And as a video director, that's your job, to help the camera people get the mood right. and to help broadcast it. And so on Tuesday, I slowed it down. That was Christmas Eve. We had 3 services on Christmas Eve, two the day before. And I slowed it down, and I was pretty happy. I watched a couple songs up front, and I was pretty happy with, like, I haven't watched it all yet. I'll go back and watch it. And then it got to the story. So I'm like, okay, well, I usually skip by the sermons and the talking part because I'm not really doing anything other than switching from camera 1 to 2, and that's easy. The rock and roll show, as I call it, is live. It's like a live concert, right? And there's a real art to it, and I've been doing it probably 2 years now, and I'm still learning, and I'm still not great. I mean, I'm okay, but I got a lot of room to improve. I'm very critical about myself. I look at these shows, and I have no idea why I even do them or why I just don't put the camera on my guest and just have me off it, because I hate watching myself, and the radio wasn't like that. So when it got to the story that you took part in, you did a reading, right? I still haven't watched the reading.
I've memorized the whole thing, but I get like a bit tongue-tied at the ending part.
Okay.
Like if I said it out loud, I get tongue-tied at the ending part, like without the script in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So did you have the script in the book or no?
Yeah.
Oh, just as a backup or a safety?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I get to the story. I'm like, okay, I'll watch this because we come out of darkness. The lights come up, and it's on the camera 3, which is your sister.
No, she was camera 4.
Camera 4. Camera 4, which is your sister, has got Calvin on the acoustic guitar in the shadows with a backlight, and it's really nice. It's a really nice shot. And then Mel's kind of same, in the shadows with a backlight. It's kind of a silhouette. Beautiful voice. Wow. She nailed that song.
Yeah.
What was the song? Oh, Holy Night?
Tell Me a Story.
Oh, yeah. Now, whose song is that? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Is it one of Central's, or is that a Christmas carol?
I don't think it's one of Central's original.
Okay. Tell Me a Story. But is it a religious Christmas song of sorts?
I think so.
Okay. So I'm like, okay, the story's coming up, so I'm going to watch that. And I'm here by myself. I think I might have had a drink. And I'm by myself. It's Christmas. I'm kind of alone, you know. I don't have a significant other. Or my brother's in Florida. My dad's across the region. My car's broken, so I'm kind of just at home, right? And then Calvin comes up. I'm fine. Mel sings beautifully. I'm fine. We switch to camera 2. That's got the scene, the story scene. I'm good. You're taking stuff out of the trunk and moving your hair around, and I'm a huge fan of yours. You're a beautiful girl, and you're a nice person, beautiful person too. So I'm like, oh, this is awesome, and I'm so fond, right? I'm just kind of watching it as almost like a proud dad, you know what I mean? And then it goes back to Calvin. There's no emotion in me. I'm just watching along, and Mel's really nice, and then switches to camera 4 again, and you're under the tree, and you're putting the little figurines into the nativity scene. I could feel this coming up, like, oh, no, it's this, you know. And
the earth is shaking.
I can feel the emotion coming up. It's tears. I'm gonna cry, and I don't even understand why. And then I started laughing at myself, and then I reminded myself that what a fine line it is between laugh or cry, and you can switch over pretty quickly. And then I was a puddle. I started texting everyone, look at this clip. I'm bawling my eyes out. It's like, you're bawling your eyes out? I'm like, yeah, I can't regain my composure. I still haven't watched the read because I only got to the second verse, and I was a puddle. I texted Derek, the sound guy. I texted my brother. I sent it to the guy that brought me to church that day. I did a video on the way to church because he says, oh, I'm so hungover. I think I'm still drunk. He picked me up, eh?
Oh, and yeah. I saw that video.
So I did I like watching videos like that. I'm trying to come up with content that makes people laugh. And I thought that was pretty good, you know. And it was a 6-minute video from here to church, and he was a great sport about it, you know what I mean? And then I left my glasses in his car, so I had to shoot video without my glasses. So I told all the camera people, I'm like, you have to be like on point with the fine tuning focus because I can't tell. if you're out or not. And so I love you. I think you're just the greatest. And I was not prepared for the emotion that came out of me. So then I was texting Ben, and I'm like, please tell them like how much your family means to me, right? And Carolina and Ben and your mom and you. I don't know Daniel that. Daniel's he's a little different, and and I don't have much interaction with him, and he's not as outgoing as you are, right? Is he good? Good, because I want to get to know him too. He seems like a great kid, and so I've been texting Ben back and forth, and I'm telling him, and I sent him the clip. And where were you at? You weren't at home. You were out.
Oh, she was at home.
Oh,
just
shoot.
upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You were probably in bed because it was probably 10 o'clock by then or something, right?
Mm-hmm. But I was still awake.
So, anyways, I called Ben, and he answers. I said, "Are you with the crew right now?" And he goes, "Well, I'm with my mom." I said, "Put me on speaker." So then I pour my heart out to your mom. I've managed to contain my emotion enough to actually convey my appreciation and how emotionally touched I was. And I said, "Ma, I want Bella to come on the show." And then Ben says, "Well, when?" I said, "Well, I'm committed to doing this 7 o'clock Thursday because Crowder comes on at 8. He's got a great show, and I think McInnes is coming up at 9 now, and so I'm here anyway." And usually I'm loose and I got friends over and there's no business to do, and let's do a show. So it'll be business now because the show I take seriously, right? So I'm going to do the show every Thursday. And I thought, well, who am I going to drag down here for Boxing Day, And then G's like, we'll be there. So thank you. Bella, bella, bella. And so I'm always like the Italian, bella, bella, bella.
I was telling you that, like, when we were, literally, as we're driving up to your house, it's like, oh, Jim is probably going to do this, bella, bella.
I love it. So, you're an artist. You draw anime. You like to act, obviously. You did the little thing with the church there. That was great. And you memorized that? How many verses was that to memorize? It was scripture, wasn't it?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Right. So what do you remember what you were reading?
Yes.
Okay, so what scripture was it?
I don't know like where it was from, but I know the whole script. Like I just get tongue tied at the end.
All right. So how's it start?
The emperor wanted to know how many people lived on his land, so he had everyone go to their hometowns to be counted. It was nighttime when Joseph and Mary arrived in Bethlehem. The little town was crammed with people. Every room was taken, and the only place left to rest was a stable filled with sleepy animals. There, Joseph made a bed for Mary in the hay. Little did the world know that the most awesome, amazing, and almighty part of God's plan was just beginning. Jesus was ready to be born. In the stillness of the night he came, God's gift of Christmas, the one who would save the world. Joseph named him Jesus. As the cows, horses, goats, and sheep watched, Mary wrapped her baby in soft cloths to keep him warm, then laid him in the hay.
I really put you on the spot, eh? You didn't expect to have to do this tonight, I bet you.
Actually, I just said the whole thing to my mom before.
Did you?
Was it feeding trough?
Oh yeah. She laid him in the feeding trough. There were nearby shepherds guarding their sheep. And then suddenly a bright light flashed and many, many angels appeared singing praises to God. A glowing angel said, "Do not be afraid, for I have good news which will make everyone happy. This very day in King David's hometown, a Savior was born for you. And you will name him, and you will know who he is because you will find him, wrapped in baby cloths and lying in a bed of hay." The shepherds exclaimed to each other, "Wow, that's amazing." The shepherds exclaimed as they hurried off to Bethlehem to tell everyone what the angel had told them.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So that is a story. That doesn't sound like scripture. I don't know the Bible all that well, but I don't think that's scripture. So that is a scriptural story about the birth of Christ, the Son of Man. So how long did it take you to memorize all that?
Well, my mom wanted me to practice it before I went on.
Right.
So I practiced it a few times. And then as the services went, I kind of got it memorized. Yeah.
As you were going. So you didn't make it important to you to have it all memorized anyways, because you had a backup. You had the script in the book anyway, so you could read it if you got stuck.
Yeah,
right?
it was supposed to look like I was reading it. So
Oh, right. Okay.
it gave it like a little theme of me reading the things to my animals.
Oh, I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be a mess when I go back and watch this again. I'm telling you. I'm going to be a soggy, soppy puddle. A mess.
That's what you need to record. That's content.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I don't know. I'm not that brave. I don't want anybody to know the real me. Wow. So that's fun. So the anime, how long have you been drawing that, and where do you think that's going to take you?
I have no idea, but I want to become an animator when I grow up. Cause I don't have my phone on me, but like I do like different animations on my phone on this app called Flip-A-Clip. Anyway, I actually recently did this animation. So when potions go to, like in those cartoons where the potions go together.
Mm-hmm.
I did an animation of that because I wanted to do something nice and cartoony. I also did this other animation where it went from the nativity scene, then it like a kind of morphed into the cross, and then it morphed into the resurrection, and yeah.
So is there still going to be people to draw? Don't they do all the animation with computers now? I mean, I guess someone's got to draw it at first, right?
Yeah. Unless you're doing like 3D, then they don't draw it. But for like regular cartoons, yes, they do draw it.
Well, how the process goes is like you always storyboard it first.
Mm-hmm.
Then you kind of do some line work depending on the type of animation. Again, if it's 2D,
Yeah.
you're going to do the line work to it. You're going to put the work into that. If it's 3-dimensional, you still have someone, like an artist, modeling the character
Yeah.
so that the riggers can go at it.
What he said.
So I don't want to burst your bubble, but once you get to be older, like not that old, but this old maybe, this memorization stuff ain't so easy, right? I know lyrics from when I was your age and up to 20-ish, 5-ish maybe. I can sing them backwards, like Pink Floyd The Wall is one of my favorite albums, you know? And it's a story all the way through, you know, and I know every word. But I can't remember the words to the new songs. I find myself thinking that I'm good at singing them and then getting there and realize that I'm going blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, you're going to lose that. So memorize everything that you want to get done, because once you turn 25, it's the downslope or something. I don't know. I shouldn't be bursting your bubble like that. And the acting you really haven't gotten into too much, have you? You've got an interest for it, but you haven't.
I think I might get more into it when I do go to high school, because Eden, I'm going to probably go for drama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what else are you into? Drawing. You said when we were talking the other day, you said I draw.
Drawing.
And then what else? Because
I also like writing.
Right.
So that's why, like, I want to make stories as well.
Go ahead.
I want to make stories as well and stuff like that. I also want to become an author. So yeah, because I could write scripts and stuff if I want to do a TV show or something.
Package. You can write the story and you can do the pictures, and then you can star in your own play too. You can act it out too.
Yeah.
So grade 6 at St. Alfred's. Grade 6. What was I doing at grade 6? Playing hockey and baseball.
EQAO again. EQAO again.
What's that?
Oh, you didn't have EQAO when you were
No.
younger?
Oh, okay. What else do you like to do? You into sports at all? Are you athletic?
I like swimming.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do gymnastics, but I wasn't the best at it, so I kind of went out of there. And I tried soccer. Not a good idea. But I'm pretty good at basketball. I enjoy doing it a lot. So yeah.
You notice that you enjoy doing what you're good at, and you don't enjoy what you're not good at? Like
Yeah.
soccer is kind of weak. I was not a big basketball fan either. I felt, even though I was tall, I felt awkward dribbling and moving and stuff like that. I was all about hockey and baseball. So what else you got going on?
I also like European handball.
Oh yeah, I always used to love that.
I'm really good at being goalie.
That's not murder ball, is it? I guess they don't call it murder ball anymore.
It's like where you hold the ball for like a limited amount of seconds, and you have to pass it, and you have to try bouncing it into the net.
Oh, it bounces into the net. Okay.
It's like soccer net, like,
oh,
and you have to bounce it into net. Yeah.
Cool. So you're gonna go to Eden afterwards.
Yeah.
So you got
I
a couple.
hope.
You got a couple more years at St. Alfred. What else is going on in your world?
I don't know.
What do you do at church? How do you assist at church? Or serve, I guess they call it, right?
Well, I do tech third service in Kiddopolis.
What's tech? Like what?
It's
tech
lighting
consist of?
and it's changing like the slideshow.
Right. Oh,
and
that's
the
board
sound.
at the back of the room.
Yeah, and the sound.
That's where we ate the other day when we had the meal.
Yeah.
Kiddopolis. Where's Warehouse?
Warehouse is it's the one in the middle. It's like
Oh, okay, that's Warehouse.
When you go down to like where, if you want to go
beside preschool.
yeah, and like the nursery, it's kind of in that little.
And how
that
old
hallway.
is Warehouse?
that's
They're older.
6 up to grade 8, I think.
grade 5 to 8.
5 to 8, so they're older than Kiddopolis.
No, it's
It's
6.
6 to 8. You're right. It's
Yeah.
6 to 8.
They're older than where you are, where you run tech. So you do the lights and you do the slides. So it's like a pro presenter almost.
Yeah. So no, it's pro presenter. They do pro, they do sound, and they do lighting on this little dinky little board.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'll.
Get rid of.
The lights aren't that well working.
They're okay. I usually stick my head in there if the door's open because they're pretty good about locking it and keeping an eye, that no strangers are coming through and stuff like that. Yeah, and usually I'll stick my head in and go, "You okay on lights there, kid?" There's a bigger kid there. He's always on the lights. It seems like. Maybe it is Colton. I didn't recognize him.
Colton's.
Does he do it?
He wears glasses.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
because he was a bigger kid, and I always. They don't know me, right? But I've got a lanyard on, so at least I'm identified as somebody that's helping out. But I always stick my head in and go, "You cool there?" Do you?
Get a Rutledge every so often as well.
Oh, right. Rutledge's kid is on there once in a while. Yeah. Well, I wasn't expecting that to come up and bite me out of nowhere. So I thought that was so cool, and it's good to have you here. So what else is going on in your world? Grade 6. How much can you have going on?
I also during second service I help out in Aussie
Okay. Well, what do you do down there?
So at the start of the thing, they are just playing. I usually play with the kids, obviously, and yeah, all that.
So are you considered actually one of the adults? Or are you one of the spaces that are minding children?
It's the leader in training. That's what I'm in right now. I think next year I should be able to just be a junior leader. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because we were supposed to have so many adults per kid, right? So then, 12 or something like that? You have to be, or 13 years old, so that you count as one of those bodies. Like, is it 14? Yeah, I know they go by basically. They follow the daycare rules, even though they're not an accredited daycare. They still go by the space rules. Oh yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, you're right. So that's why they follow, obviously. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, they were saying that they couldn't do it full time or something.
The daycare?
Yeah, like they had to break. They couldn't do it for some reason. I can't remember what their story was, but
I gotta ask one of my
Yeah. Now, are you there every weekend then?
Yes.
That's a commitment. Do you ever actually go to church to see the service, or
Yeah, first service I go to Warehouse, and they go up there for the worship, and in Warehouse they play a few clips of Pastor Bill talking and stuff. So we still kind of get a bit of the upstairs service, just a bit. The rest of it is just kind of talking with
So are you guys actually up in the auditorium, or do you watch it downstairs?
Yeah, for the worship.
Oh, so for the music. I never understood why they call it worship, but I'm Catholic, I used to be Catholic, and I never really understood worship. It meant the music. So you guys are in the house, you rock and roll out, and then when the worship's over, you go out the side door. Is that what everyone's doing? Go out
the side doors, and then
stage right?
Yeah.
Stage right. So that's where you guys are going. That's when the big light opens up, because the sunlight comes in when you guys are. I always wondered who was scooching out of there, and that's only for first service.
Yeah.
Every service.
Oh,
well, every service for the Warehouse, but I only go there for the first service.
Okay.
So how it works is they come up for worship, then they'll go downstairs, they'll go back to Warehouse, and then they'll listen to whatever Bill was preaching about the previous week, and then one of the leaders there will talk about they'll kind of deconstruct it for the kids and help them understand what exactly is going on there.
Cool. Who's your favorite sibling? The one that drives?
Well, I don't know.
Carolina doesn't even drive yet. What's her problem?
I can always leave you here.
I don't know. I think I like all of them equally.
Yeah, that's a good answer. You're very diplomatic. So now let's see. What's your birth order?
It goes Benjamin first, Carolina second, Daniel third, and then me last.
Oh, so you're the baby. So have you ever looked into the birth order and the characteristics, the personality traits of the birth order of the 4 babies? Okay, so for instance, if you have 2 siblings, same sex, close in age, like 2 years or under, there's a dynamic. There's the older sister or brother, and then there's always the younger one, and they have a kind of a dynamic. When you have 3, the one in the middle, well, the baby's obviously the baby. You have you have the only child syndrome too. So we all know what only children are like. They're not used to having anyone else around. They get it all. They're not used to sharing as much. There's this only child kind of personality traits, right? And you can see it in people. It's pretty accurate. And then with the 1, 2, 3, you get the older, and then you get the middle one is the negotiator. So the younger one and the older one will tell the middle one everything, and the middle one's usually the guys. They're like the peacemaker in the middle. So I wonder what the dynamic is. I don't know what the dynamic is of the baby in 4. Well, we know what the baby's like. Well, the baby, first of all, gets to do everything before all the others before them. Because Ben was going to the store by himself when he was 8, let's say. And then Carolina was 7 because Ben went and there was no problem. So she got to go a little younger. And then Daniel was probably 6 and change or something. He was going. And then so you're it's a bad example, but you would, in this example, you'd be 5 and going to the store already because all your older siblings had all been there already, and your mother knew that it was safe, right? So I wonder, we'll have to look into that. I'll get back to you next time.
For the month of December, me and my brother were walking to school because my dad's in Guatemala. So.
Yeah, they've been getting a lot more responsibility than I had when I was in grade 8.
Right. See? And then the older ones always look back and go, "What do you mean? I didn't get to walk to school in grade 8."
No, I was not allowed. I was barely allowed out of the house, let alone walking all the way to school.
It's true.
Yeah, but I have to go with my brother Daniel. I have to go with Daniel because, yeah, I can't go alone. And Daniel's in grade 8. He's going to go to high school next year, so.
Oh, okay. So now how close do you live to St. Alfred?
About 10 minutes away.
Walk-wise?
Yeah.
So when I was going to St. Alfred, I was walking to Scott and Bunting. That's a little bit of a trek, huh? Because what is it? Carlton and Niagara, Carlton and Vine.
It's something like that. I don't really know.
Carlton and Vine, Scott and Niagara. Scott and Bunning is a little bit of a hike. I bet you it's a couple of kilometers, maybe 3, maybe 4.
Well, we live near. Do you know where Book Depot is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Welland Ave?
Yeah, we around there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's a little bit of a hike.
They walk from there, so it's a little bit more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, probably. What's your favorite subject at school?
I'd say art
Of
and
course.
and language, and then there's PE.
Phys ed?
Mhm.
Right. And then you're going to go to Eden.
Yes.
Are you going to get into sports there or no? Because that's a really sporty school, huh? Secord's the one where you go for the artsy-fartsy stuff, all the drama and the music and stuff like that. But
Yeah, but Eden's pretty good at it.
yeah, and Mom wants you going there for. Did you guys all go to Eden?
I went to Eden. Mom kind of gave Carolina a choice. Carolina was like, "Yeah, I want to go to Eden too, like my big brother." And Daniel's in the same boat where he's like, "I want to go to Eden because Benjamin went there, not because Carolina went there. 'Cause Benjamin went there."
Well, because you're his big brother.
Yeah.
I was the first time. Well, the first time we actually spoke, like, kind of hung around and had breakfast there. You got up to go get more food. We're in the kitchen having breakfast there.
Yeah.
They do a pretty good service there, and
Yeah.
the breakfast is very appreciated. Except the other day, I shouldn't say this. They made us boiled eggs, hard boiled eggs, dude. And that was it on uncooked rice. So here I come. I'm looking for sausage. I'm looking for bacon. I'm looking for scrambled eggs. I'm looking for whatever we normally get. They've been, anyways. I won't go there. And I pick up the warmer lid.
Yeah.
And there's like 24 eggs in there, sitting on uncooked rice, like hard rice, not even nice and fluffy boiled rice. I'm like, I pick it up. I'm like,
What is this?
what is this? What are we doing here? Where's my breakfast? And then they had some fruit. They got a nice spread and everything, but there was nothing else. There was no warmers. I'm like, well, are they bringing another warmer of like dead pig or like meat or like bacon or sausage or something? I don't know. So I'm like, okay, well, I take an egg and they're kind of rolling on my plate all the way back, and I sit down with a couple. I usually sit with the young kids. I don't sit with the band because they're too cool for me, right? We're production. We don't mix well with the band. Even in the walkthrough, the band sits on one side, production sits on the other side. I don't get that, but I'm kind of into it now. And now, if the talent, we call them the talent in the radio business, we used to call it the talent. If the talent ever comes over and thinks that they're going to sit with us, I'll be the first guy to go production. Other side. Anyway, so I complained to the kids that I was sitting with, and then someone came through the door from the kitchen and said, would anyone like some scrambled eggs or anything? Or is this, and everyone was, no, well, we're good. I'm like, I didn't want to be the guy to go, can I get a cheese omelet, please, with some meat in it? Or some scrambled eggs? Or, maybe like anything other than a hard-boiled egg that's not even hot anymore? Like, here I am complaining about free food.
Just stay peaceful.
Yeah, exactly. Put some salt on it. They peeled easy. That was great. But I told your mother when you got up, I go, she is such a little lady. Like, for 10 years old, you really have a really womanly, I don't know what it is. And then, so I nailed it the other day. I'm like, I get it. It's an old soul. I don't know if that's very Christian, but I go, you remind me of an old soul. And I asked her, do you know what that means? And she goes, no.
No.
And that's kind of like, I think it's got something to do with wisdom and maturity. And just like the pagan way would say, you've lived many lives before type of thing. I know it's a philosophy that, isn't, want to be taught that, but whatever. So anyways, so I'm proud of you. You really nailed that thing. And as soon as I'm good now. I'm not emotional right now. We could play it if you want to see me cry. No. Because I don't think the people online can get to appreciate it because they won't be able to see it. But I did put a clip of it on YouTube, just a 17-second one.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And then I'm gonna go back when I feel like I can watch the whole thing without having a complete breakdown. I'm gonna clip it, the whole thing from start to finish, just your story, and then put that up there. And did you see the comment that I wrote for the video? That I said, this is Bella and Mel, and I lost it. Like the description says, I shot this 5 times, and then when I went back to watch it, I didn't expect to end up in a puddle on the floor of my own tears.
I don't think she saw that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you just saw the video, but
Yeah, I saw the video.
now, are you online? You say you have a phone. You're not into social media or anything like that?
No, I just watch YouTube.
Yeah. What do you watch on YouTube? Yeah. What do you watch?
I usually watch like Minecraft videos. Later today, I was watching Minecraft, and it was like kind of like a National Geographic about the animals on Minecraft. I was watching about foxes in Minecraft and how to tame them, all that.
Oh, okay. Now, what's Minecraft? The blocks?
Yeah.
It seems so primitive. Like, there's no real graphics in it, is there? It's just like sticks and blocks and low resolution graphics, no?
Yeah, but sometimes simple is always better. It beat Fortnite.
See what I mean? Both the old soul. Simple is always better. Shoot.
Honestly, you think it's simple, but it's actually complex. It's in its simplicity, it is complex.
Oh, okay. Now, Fortnite, is that something you're into? Is that a boy thing?
No.
Or is that...
Fortnite is just a mindless shooting game.
Oh, so it's violent.
Yes.
But why are the Christians so good with it then? Fortnite
I don't know.
sounds like it's acceptable. If they're killing people all the time, why are they so up with it?
I don't know.
You don't think it's very Christian?
I don't like it because there's just too much shooting and it's just...
Right. So how would you describe your faith?
I think I'm really Christian. Most people say that because most of the time during religion, I'm always raising my hand.
For what, questions or
Yeah,
comments?
questions.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you're intellectually curious then?
Yeah.
Do you find that you're more curious about religion than anything else?
I don't know.
Would you be surprised if I told you that you're going to remember very little from 11 years old when you get to be G's age? Like, I can hardly remember anything. Like, I might remember the odd school trip or a strap if I got in trouble or something like that. But I remember nothing from 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or even 10. So that was a question. I'm like, I don't want to get too mature on you here, but would you be surprised to know that you'll almost remember, like 10 years from now, when you're 20, 21, you'll remember virtually nothing from this point forward and younger?
Well, most of the time, if my mom asks me, how did my day go at school, what did you do, I'm going to be like, I don't really remember.
Well, that's short-term memory. We've all got a problem with short-term memory. Some more than others. My short-term memory is toast. I can remember I can remember stuff way back, but it gets selective too. I mean, you wonder why certain things go out of your head. And then I would always get my parents. I'm like, remember that time you told me this? And I'm like, yeah, no.
So later today, I had this lamp that I showed my sister, and it's the one that she gave me. It was like a solar power, but the solar power wasn't working. I have it in my bag right now.
Oh yeah, let's see that book again. I want to see some of those drawings. Simon do drawings.
So here's the lamp. It used to be solar power, as shown as the top tip over here.
Okay.
But
Okay,
the
so
solar
what's
power
this-
didn't
where's
work.
this coming from?
My sister gave it to me.
Okay, yeah.
And then when I mentioned it to her today, she said she didn't remember giving it to me.
Oh.
And I knew she gave it to me. It's like, it's weird, like, when you know someone gave it to you, like, for sure, And yeah. Anyway, so I added a few lights in it, like those string lights, since it didn't work. And now
Wow.
it can work.
So you fixed it all up, and it's got like rechargeable batteries that are charged by the solar cell?
No, sadly.
Oh, so those are just normal batteries.
Yeah.
So the solar cell, and where's your sketchbook?
Oh. It's in here.
Look at her. She's working her way around the mic.
Yeah.
She's 11, dude.
My mom got me this new bag for Christmas, and I love it.
Yeah.
She also got me a lot of panda stuff. My brother had like this he had a Harry Potter theme. He's into Harry Potter and such. I'm into pandas.
She asked me the other day, "What's your favorite animal?" I'm like, "What are you, 40? Like, what's my favorite animal?" Well, where did that come from? What's your favorite animal? I said. I go, I don't know.
I said pandas because they resemble me.
What did I say? Dog? I should have said eagle.
Yeah, you said dog.
Eagle, obviously. My favorite. I've never actually. Well, I mean, I've seen one, but yeah. You should ask me what's your favorite sporting animal. Let me see this. Okay. We're gonna hold this up for the camera. Maybe we'll get some. Maybe
I just started it yesterday, so there's not that many.
You see
pictures on the inside.
When you get to an age where you're marketable, you're going to need an agent. And maybe at that time I'll know something about promoting artists. Can you hold some of that up for the camera? Yeah. And flip it around.
We got a low battery notification on the recorder.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that one's going to go. That one's only got about an hour in it. Have we been going that long?
Oh, yeah, we're almost, we're hitting 50 minutes right now.
Wow,
okay.
So let's flip the page here.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, they are good. Oh, pandas and anime. Cool.
And then
See, now this thing, I haven't figured out how the YouTube video, I can't back it up.
What do you mean?
Well, it doesn't save the camera roll.
Oh.
So what do we got for battery there? Oops.
19.
Oh, good. 19%?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the YouTube is going fine, so we can wrap up that recording anytime now, because if it goes off, let me see.
Sure.
If it goes off because of power, I lose it all. It doesn't save.
Okay. Do you want me to cut that then?
No, we can let it roll. We'll just close up with Bella here. Yeah, you really got some talent. Your sister was saying that what's this dude? He's got some horns on him?
Yeah, those are horns.
Evil.
Well, the characters that you see in the book right now, they're villains.
Oh.
I also like stuffed animals.
Mm-hmm. What'd you get for Christmas?
Oh, my sister, so the brand it's called Squishmallows, and she got me like this giant one, and they're really squishy, if you can see.
Uh-huh.
They're made for like that, and the cuteness.
Cuteness.
Anyway.
You gotta take the tags off them, dude.
No,
How squishy are they with the tags?
I like the tags.
What are you gonna do with them?
Look at them.
Doesn't the tag say do not remove upon? Doesn't it say right in the instructions remove these tags or?
Pretty sure it says do not.
No, it only says made in China.
Made in China.
Anyway, so for Christmas, my sister got me like a big version of it. I actually guessed the gift because I actually stared at the big version in Costco, and she said that I was getting something big and different, and I'm like, did you get me that? And she's like, no. Then on Christmas Day, I open it up. I knew it. Anyway, so she got me like a big dragon. It looks like the cow, but like teal, and there's dragon wings. Uh-huh. And yeah, just looks a bit off from this. It has the snout, everything. So I call it a cow dragon. I named all my things. I can tell you the names of the ones I have with me now. I have a few more at home. This one is Toast. My brother Daniel named that one. This one is Sushi. Honey, my cousin named that one. And the dragon is Leaford. No, wait, that's my That's one of my characters' names. The dragon name is Fafnir. It's from an anime. It's called Dragon Maid. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, you know. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway.
You know. Anyway, that's my life. And what else do you want to know? I'll tell you all about it. Is there any conflict being Christian and going to a Catholic school? No?
Not yet. Wait until next year.
What, confirmation? Or what?
Next, like, grades 6, 7, and 8 is when Caroline and I started experiencing issues. But
In grade 4.
You do confession?
In grade, no.
So you can opt out.
So we're allowed to skip it,
Okay.
but in grade 4, so what happened? We had like this supply because it was the whole mess with teachers. I had a lot of switch ups. It was a very odd, weird year, but
Well, Catholic, just to be clear, Catholic is considered Christian, but
yeah, just like Christians have less rules than Catholics.
formal, yeah, especially like the communion and the confession and the confirmation and the.
less ritual.
And they also do baptism when you're young instead of when you're an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do baptism around birth.
Yeah. Speaking of baptism, I have a crazy story about my baptism.
You already got baptized?
Yes, during summer camp.
Oh, okay.
One sec. I have a wristband from the summer camp.
How do you know when you're ready to get baptized?
That camp just brought me closer to God somehow. I don't know.
It just felt like it was time?
I wanted to get baptized by Benjamin, but he was in college. And he had actually exams going on. And so I had 2 friends, Olive and Bella, at the camp. They're like 2 mains there. Anyway, so we played the games, and on the last day when we were getting baptized, so I heard that Benjamin couldn't come, so I got really sad. And Bella's parents, I'm pretty sure they weren't able, they were told, Bella was told that they might not be able to come. So that day, we sat outside our cabin and just prayed for a while. It was like, then before the baptism, we prayed a bit more. And yeah, we went to the baptism where we're gonna like get baptized and everything. And we were all saying our things before we got baptized. When I said mine, GP looked at me in a certain way. I didn't know what was going on. He said, he was just like looking at me, and I'm like, something's different. Something's different here. Anyway, I said my thing, how church camp brought me closer to God, and I wanted to get baptized. And before I said my speech, rewind quickly, before I was at the fence, I'm like, why is my mom taking this long? I remember going to my brother's baptisms. They didn't take this long. Anyway, so when we were in line, I saw a flash of blue running. I didn't see the face or anything. I just saw a blue shirt, some sort of Captain America shirt, running like this. I did not see the face. And when he went past the pool house, disappeared. So I'm like, okay, I'm a bit, that looked a bit peculiar. Anyway, so I said my speech, and while I was saying it, the gate opened. Long pause. Anyway, my brother came in.
Right?
My brother came in. I was so happy. I was crying.
Wow.
I was just so excited.
So you don't need to be ordained to baptize?
So we had like, no, you don't have to be ordained to baptize, I don't think.
Well, or is ordination, is that even a thing in Christian? I mean, you gotta have some qualifications to be a pastor, don't you?
To do marriage, I believe you have to be ordained, but I'm not entirely sure all the specifics.
All right.
So there's another side to that story. There's my side, if you don't mind.
Okay, let's do this. Let's wrap this one up here.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say to these guys before we hit stop on here? You say goodbye to this camera? Because we're going to keep going over here because it's fully charged.
Goodbye, this camera.
What? Performer. Wow.
Goodbye.
You want to be a little bit more dramatic about
Okay.
it? Holy
Goodbye.
Moses. Okay, cut there. We should have the paywall. We should have it so you have to go, in an extended version where you have to pay to be on it.
Yeah.
You can just pop that cord out
Yep.
if you want. It's stopped recording, right?
Yeah.
And then bring it here. I'll start uploading it.
Alrighty.
Cool. What else?
So the other side to that story, I'm just gonna come behind Bella here.
You can sit in the seat.
I guess this isn't recording anymore, so
No,
we'll hear
we're
from
still
this.
live on YouTube.
No, but these aren't recording.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm weaving my way in here. I like being on camera.
Yeah, we know
no.
that.
But the other side to that story is, so I'm just like, I'm in class, I'm running a lab, like, I'm kind of ticked off at this point because like my lab partner's completely kind of tagged out on me, don't know where he is, so kind of frustrated, and then I get a call in the middle of
From
class.
Ashley.
I'll get there. Okay. I get a call in the middle of class. I'm like, why is she calling me at this time? So I walk out of class because it was just a lab. I can tag out when I want. So I walked out. I take the call, and it's one of Bella's leaders, Ashley Backus, and she's like, "Hey Ben, I just want to let you know Bella wants to get baptized." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing!" And I was so excited. And then she said the words that kind of broke me, and she said, "Well, Bella wants you to baptize her."
Oh no.
And I was, at that moment, my heart, like, you know that moment when you, like, get
Your
stabbed,
heart
like, in the
sank?
heart? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, shoot, that's so, like, I felt so special. Like, I felt honored. Like,
Yeah.
my little sister wants me to come and baptize her, and I thought that was the
You
coolest
didn't get
thing
that from
ever.
Carolina.
Pardon me?
You didn't get that from
No,
Carolina.
of course not.
Not my favorite sister.
And like the previous, like a year or two ago, I got to baptize my little brother Daniel. I got to go into the pool, just baptize him with his leaders as well. So that was cool, and I was like, man, I don't know, I don't think I can make it. Like I told Ashley, I have an exam on Friday. Like I have to take an exam. I don't think I'm gonna make it. And at this point, I'm like really crunched for time because you know how I'm at that camp and stuff. So my training was starting literally like after my exam was done. So it was really crunch time for me. So I'm like, I don't think I can make it, and I just broke down in the hallway, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't come, and I kind of like packed up all my crap, all my lab equipment, and I just left the school. Like I left the college. I was crying on my walk home. Like I was broken. Like because I didn't think I was going
She's
to be
a
able
real
to make it.
heartbreaker, eh? She doesn't
Oh,
even
yeah,
know.
heck yeah.
She doesn't have any clue.
She honestly. So I walked home.
It's a strange kind of happy sorrow, though.
Yeah, like
You know,
it was happy because I was
Yeah.
like, I was so happy she was gonna get baptized,
Yeah.
and I was so happy that she was making that decision in her life. And then I walk home, and I'm crying the whole way home. I get home, I just like fall into my bed, and at this point, like in my college time, I was kind of like really crapped out. Like I just couldn't with college anymore. I couldn't with school. Just felt like garbage for multiple different reasons, but this was kind of a kicker for me. So I'm just like bawling in my bed, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm just gonna email my prof. Maybe he'll give me some leeway in some off chance. And I message him. He doesn't get back to me. Like I call my mom. I'm like, hey, here's the situation. She gives me all this info. She gives me the whole rundown. She's like, yeah, I know Bella wants to get baptized. I didn't know that she wanted you to baptize her. There's all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm still like super upset because I still don't think I can make it.
Mhm.
And then I'm just kind of spamming my prof, trying to get him to answer. He didn't check his email, so I didn't get any.
Spamming my prof.
I didn't get any answer from him, so I just kind of went to bed broken and upset. I wake up the next morning at like 4 or 5 a.m. thinking, well, no, not at 8. I woke up at 4 or 5 a.m. hoping, hey, maybe he checked it when I went and passed out, and hopefully, and I had like kind of prayed about it the night before, and I checked my email thinking, oh, God's gonna come through. No. There was no email from my prof saying, yeah, go ahead, kick it, like, do the exam. And I was broken, so I went upstairs, I started getting ready to go to school that day, I just went over my notes for my exam, because my exam was literally that morning, and her baptism was at like 10, so I'm going, like, just kind of figuring stuff out.
Was I there for baptism?
It wasn't at Central. It was at Brayside. It was at Brayside.
Right.
So I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to go to class. I'm broken. I'm still crapped out. Making myself breakfast, and I call my mom. Tell her, still no answer from my prof. Don't come down to St. Thomas to pick me up. It's probably not gonna work. Fast forward to like 8:30, 8:40 ish. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna check my email again. Maybe he checked it this morning.
I think that was the time when we prayed in the morning outside our cabin.
Nice. So I check my email, and I'm refreshing a couple times, and then I finally see the email from my prof. I'm like, I open it up, and he's like, yeah, go ahead, kick it. We can do the exam later. I'm not even gonna ask any questions. You explained it to me, because I explained it to him in the email what was going on, and he's like, no, go ahead. Just go do this. I know this is really important to you, because I had made my faith very prominent, like, while I was in college. So he was like, yeah, I know this is really important to you. Go right ahead. And I'm like, yes, okay. I call my mom. I'm like super excited. I'm like, mom, my prof gave me the go ahead. I can go. And then my mom's like, okay, but I have to drive there now, and I'm already halfway to Paris. And I'm like, right, okay. And then I started calling around, seeing if I could. Well, I didn't have a car. I didn't have a car in St. Thomas, so I'm calling around seeing, maybe you can drive me, maybe you can drive me, maybe my roommate can drive me. My roommate was already gone. I don't know where he was. So I'm calling around. No one can give me a ride. And I'm like broken again. I'm like, crap. Maybe I should go for a taxi. So I talked to my mom. And I'm like, hey, this is how much the taxi's probably going to cost. It's probably going to cost quite a bit. And she's like, no, don't go for the taxi. See if the pastor down the road can drive you. Because I was living near the youth pastor of the the church that I was going to in St. Thomas. So I call him up. Both him and his wife are busy. And I'm like, I can't get there.
Tired.
And I'm like calling friends from London, calling friends from everywhere, seeing like if they maybe on the off chance they can pick me up. Nothing. So I'm finally like, okay, it's like 9 something, and I'm like, Mom, I'm just getting the taxi, I don't care. And she's like, okay, go. So I called the taxi at like, it wasn't at 9, it was like 8:50, 55 at this point maybe. And I'm like, okay, hey, I need someone quick. I need to get to this place by this time. And my mom and I had planned out, just to make it a little cheaper, my mom would pick me up at the on route. On the way to Paris. So I call the taxi, the company sends a taxi driver, and I'm waiting outside for like 20 minutes after I call the taxi. And typically their like time was like 5 minutes. Like I called the taxi service before, and they were pretty good with getting a taxi there in 5 minutes. The taxi gets there 20 minutes later, and I'm like, okay, all right, let's go. I open up the door to the taxi, and it's this frail old woman. And I'm like, oh no, we aren't going fast at all. And then I look around for a GPS or something so I can punch in the address. She's like, no, I'm just going to use my map. And I'm like, in my mind, and I'm like, oh jeez. And then I get a call from GP. He's like, hey Ben, are you coming? Are you on your way? And I'm like, I just got in the taxi. I'm booking it now. He's like, how long is it going to take? And I'm like, I don't know, 40 minutes. I lied. It's not going to take me 40 minutes. It was like Paris to St. Thomas. That's a good 2 hour, maybe. I don't know how long that is. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll be there soon. And we just kick it driving. And I'm like trying to give her directions using my Google Maps and stuff. Be like, okay, make the turn here. And she's like, oh, I think I can go faster here. I'm like, no, please go this way. And we're having like, we're also having a conversation, like, just how about lives and stuff, because I like to do that with texting language, because why not? Turns out she's a Christian. She's, like, huge in her faith. So that was really cool. But we're driving for what seems like forever. We finally make it to the en route. And she's like, okay, go, because I explained the whole situation to her. She's like, okay, go, get out of my car. And I had paid her before we left, which was good. Good thing I did that, otherwise I would have been fumbling around. So I run out, I look for my mom, I get in my mom's car, and my mom's just booking it. Like, I've never seen her go this fast before on the highway, and I'm like scared for my life. I'm holding on to the handle.
You know what they call that, right?
What?
The holy, you know what handle.
Yeah. So I'm holding on to the handle for dear life, and I'm like, okay, I've made it this far. God's got me at this point. We're making it. But my mom's like bawling in the seat. She's like, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I'm not gonna see Bella get baptized. And I'm like, no, we're making it. I've made it this bloody far. We're making it on time. So we finally make it. I'm like getting calls from GP, from like Jess, from Emily, another one of her leaders, from Ashley, her leader who called me originally. And I'm like, I'm coming as fast as I can. And GP's like, okay, I'll stall for as long as I can. So he goes. So apparently he went into this whole spiel. Took them to 10:30, 10:40 or something. And I make it. I make it to the camp. And Jess is waiting there with the go-kart for me and my mom. And I'm like, Jess, I know I'm faster than that go-kart. I've outrun it before. So I'm just booking it, okay? I'm already, like, I changed in the car and everything. And my mom is like, okay, I'll go park the car. And I'm like, okay. You know those movies where they, like, they drive in and they do, like, They give you like they give the like action character propulsion when they like open the door. Sure. I basically did that. I did that, jumped over the fence, saw Jess, and was like, Jess, my mom's over there, go and pick her up. And I'm running, and I'm wearing my Captain America shirt naturally.
You look like Captain America, you're
I run past the pool. I don't know who saw me. Didn't care. I make it to the gate of the pool. Emily's there waiting for me, and she gives me a big hug. And I'm like, okay, I made it. Am I late? And she's like, no, you're just on time. Bella's telling her testimony now. Wow. And I'm like, yes, I made it.
That's cool.
And I had to take a breath. I took my breath, and then I open up the gate, tried to be as quiet as possible. GP looks at me. He's like... And he contained it, but he's like, you're here, okay, perfect. And I can tell everybody around can kind of see it. And GP set it up in a way, it was like, Bella's brother couldn't be here. Bella wanted him to baptize her, but he couldn't be here today due to circumstances around school and stuff. So I come up behind Bella, and I just give her a big hug, and it's one of the most awesome moments ever, because I made it. And I was so excited, I was so happy, and I was like, I was pumped. And, and then I got to baptize Bella. So that's the story.
And during, like, when I was waiting in the line, I heard Emily, like, saying something minutes, something like that.
Yeah. So I made it, and I'll give you back the spotlight now.
There you go. All right, well, we should get you home, actually, so...
oh, yeah, it's 8:10. I was supposed to meet Andrew Hawk. Oopsies.
Thank you so much, both of you. Benjamin.
Pleasure.
Miralles. Miss Miralles.
That sounds like a song, just like...
I really appreciate you all, your whole family. It's been a real blessing to know you guys. So, and I'll get that clip up soon. And when I have the strength to I wasn't expecting that, and then I called Kim, my friend. Mm-hmm. I just sent her a Facebook message. I go, I remember when I was a sobbing mess for Serena because she was so. There's just something really touching about the girls. I don't know. They get me somehow. The young girls. I mean, it's just something so innocent and beautiful and whatever. And I was like, whoa, what's this? Whoa! I don't want to go here. Because I've had enough of my nose and eyes watering and stuff over the last week. I've been so sick. I'm coming out of it. Yeah. When I was there for rehearsal, you saw me Friday. I was a wreck. And It turns out that I've got what everyone else has gotten in St. Catharines, and I didn't know
Is it that virus? The one where everyone's puking and stuff?
No. This is like a 3-week thing.
Oh.
3 weeks ago, I got this hoarseness and cough, and it was dry, and there was no cold symptoms. I just had this cough. And then, like today, last night, I had the bed sweats, but I haven't had those in a while. But you get this cough, and then you think you're better for a week or 10 days, and then kaboom, you get 4 days of full blown. Well, apparently it's the same thing. Like everyone's getting this thing where they get this little touch of the cough, and then they think they're better, and then 10 days later they're tripped up for 4 days, just kaboom. It's working in you, like because I said to and my buddy says, "Oh yeah, dude, that went through the whole plant." He goes, this, and then you think you're better for 2 weeks, and then kaboom, and that's exactly what I had.
I really hope I don't get that because
yeah,
work.
I don't think I'm contagious anymore, but it's going around, and apparently it's been making its rounds in St. Catharines.
Well, apparently all the kids were like puking and everything. Like apparently my family was the only one to escape it, but we saw Corey Nickel the other at Walmart today, and she pulled up behind us and she's like, "Yeah, everyone's sick," and we're like, "Oh, well, that's great." So there's something going around.
There's something going on right here.
There's something in the water.
All right. What do we do on the way out? I don't know. What do we do?
Typically we would do like I would do an outro on my stream. So like, thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe. Send me a follow on Twitch. You know that stuff. This is YouTube, so like, follow, subscribe, share this with your friends. If you want to come back next week, we're going live at 7. The Jim Fannon Show, and that's when I would cut to my outro music.
Say goodbye, human.
Yeah.
Goodbye now. Goodbye to the stream.
All right.
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
All right, let's cut that.